Hi there, welcome back to the ERS video training series. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to set up our service areas. So let's start by going to Admin, Order Config, Service Areas. So let's start by clicking here. And by default, this search will come up with every city and zip code within a 20-mile radius. To change the radius, just change the number in here and click on Find. Now the main thing we need to concern ourselves with in this list is cities. This list of cities will populate to a drop-down menu that your customers can choose from during online checkout. Duplicate spellings of cities will still only show up one time in that drop-down menu, but if a city is spelled with even one letter wrong, that will show up in the menu. So it's very important that we go through this list and clean it up. In addition, there are always institutions and other things that show up on this list that aren't actually cities, so we want to uncheck those boxes as well. For example, Kirtland Air Force Base is not a city, it's an Air Force base in Albuquerque. Same with Manzano Base and Sandia Base. UNM is a college. Public Service Company is our public utility. So we look here, we can see that there are 5 different entries for Los Ranchos. Los Ranchos is a neighboring township right next to Albuquerque, which is technically named the Village of Los Ranchos de Albuquerque. But again, if we leave all of these boxes checked, since they're all spelled differently, they would all show up in that drop-down menu. So I'm going to uncheck all but one of them. The other reason to uncheck duplicates in here is that if the same city shows up in that drop-down menu twice with 2 different spellings, some of your customers will choose the one spelling, and some of your customers will choose the other spelling. And then later when you're reviewing your sales reports, it'll look like you had jobs in 2 different cities, when actually they're just different spellings of the same city. I'm also going to go ahead and uncheck any cities or townships in which I don't want to work. Alright, now we should have a clean list, so I'm going to go ahead and import these zips, and then I'm going to go back into service areas to double check. Now this list looks pretty good, but it turns out I missed one of the entries that I should have deleted. Los Padillas is actually a neighborhood and not a city, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. Alright, this list looks pretty good to me. The next thing we should do is click into States and update the title of the state. This is also important for reporting purposes. Now another thing that we can do in here is update the minimum order, travel fee, and tax rate for each city. Now there are a couple of tricks that can make this easier for me. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and click on Customize. And this allows us to choose what shows up in this menu view. I don't think I need to see import ID right now, but tax rate would be useful. Now in the last video, we set our default tax rate, but some of these cities have different tax rates from the default, so I can go ahead and update these here. And the fastest way to do that is to click into Spreadsheet mode. Spreadsheet mode allows you to make edits directly from this screen rather than having to click into each individual entry. Now you do have the ability to specify a minimum order, but you can override that default setting for particular cities here. Now if you'd like to charge a unique travel fee for each different city, you can set those here. For example, the town that your warehouse is in, you might want to have a lower travel fee than a town that is 30 miles away. But the ERS system does support travel fee by mile as well, and that's what I prefer to use, so I'm not going to update the travel fees in here. Alright, that about does it for service areas. Remember, anytime you have questions about how to use the system, you can click on Help and enter the knowledge base to do a keyword search. You can also always reach out to the tech support department with any questions at 505-435-9731, extension 102, or support@eventrentalsystems.com. Our next video will be about configuring and inputting your inventory categories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.